Everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen up your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and get with alkalinity. Then you can generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically. Set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to Great Days. So I'm going to talk about guilt. And I'm going to also go over why guilt is a built-in complex, societally built-in complex to people, and why you don't want to live within the complex of guilt, and understanding your innocence as a being. Okay, so let's get right into this. So guilt, right? Guilt is something that we probably all felt, especially if you're living within a society. Guilt is probably something that you felt for some small little thing that you've done that you already had conceptualized maybe as a bad thing or even a crime. Guilt. It's very much a complex that people are living within, emotionally charged, of course, as well, because it makes you feel some type of way, especially with a entangling thought process to follow. Guilt. But guilt is not, guilt doesn't actually exist, for one. But more so than it not existing, guilt is not something that people should hold within them. Vibrationally, people do not need to feel guilty, or people do not need to think they are guilty. Okay, because people are not guilty. No matter who you are or what you've done, you're not guilty for anything. It can be the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. It can be the pinnacle of what you conceptualize as bad, or the worst. And even then, if you commit that, you're still not guilty, because guilt is not something that actually exists. It's conceptual, and conceptual reality is illusion. But more so than that, once again, guilt is not natural to our being. Okay, because guilt is it's a built-in complex by society. So guilt has come with living societally, or living within a society, and most societies program guilt in us because there is a whole program that they are having most of the mass following, so that we aren't able to achieve to more holistic states of being. Because if more people live holistically and more innately, and more within themselves, deeper within themselves, and are able to reach deeper states of awareness, then we become very, very powerful, and we are able to shift the globe paradigmally. And if we are able to shift the globe in this way individually, then we can also ripple this out through the solar system and the Milky Way and the cosmos. Okay, and one individual is capable of that. So if many people were to do this globally, it would pose a threat to some people who are keeping control over globe, or controlling the globe. Okay, so guilt is just one of those little programs, or one of those little complexes that society has built into people, so that they aren't able to go deeper into themselves. Because guilt, it creates an energetical blockage within the person or the individual system. And if there's an energetical blockage, you cannot access your full being, because this is what blockages are all about. So once again, guilt is one of those things. It doesn't actually exist, and people aren't actually guilty. Even if you went and murdered people, you aren't guilty. Okay. And society is going to tell you that you should if you were to do the worst of the worst, that you should be locked away lifetime after lifetime, or even that you should take your own life, something along the lines of this. It's a punishment system, but none of that needs to be, because that's not the way life is. More so, if you're living in tune with the laws of nature, then guilt never needs to be within you. Because nobody is guilty no matter what you do. Okay, because it's all an evolutionary process, for one, and no matter what you're doing, the Godhead is doing that, because we are all God. Everything is energy, and God is energy. We are all the universe. We are all existence. Okay, and what you are doing, God is doing. And God is the ultimate being. The ultimatum. So in that way, you aren't guilty for anything, because it's just God is doing what it needs to do in order to keep things progressing. So you're not guilty. No matter what you have ever done in your life, you're not guilty. Okay. But once again, guilt is one of those complexes that society programs into people as deeply as they can, so that you won't look within yourself, so that you won't realize truth, and you won't realize absolute being. They want to keep you away from looking within yourself, and they want you living outside of yourself, so that you can continue in living in ignorance, and living backwardly, and living materially or physically. When in reality we're spirit, we're energy, and we are immortal in a sense. And guilt is one of those, once again, one of those complexes that society is programmed to keep their imbalanced way of doing things going for as long as it can. But the truth of it is, absolute truthness is that you are not guilty, and guilt does not exist. Okay, you are innocent. You are born innocent. You're born pure. You are born absolutely pure, and you are born absolutely innocent. Okay, and that's the truth, and it stays like that throughout your life. You are an innocent soul, and guilt does not actually exist. Okay. Now, I want to say this is knowing that you are innocent at your center, and knowing that you are pure, and knowing that you are innocent in being, is very Buddhic in intelligence. Okay, so I want to say this is an understanding of the Buddha. To know that you are innocent, and to know that guilt is just one of those complexes to hinder collective progression, spiritual progression, because that's is what it is. No matter what you're doing within your life, no matter what you do, even if you do the worst of the worst, once again, it's all for the collective progression. It doesn't matter what you do. Okay, even if you committed genocide, which is like the worst that I can think of, you're still not guilty. It may sound absolutely insane, but you're not guilty, because you were at the same time built by wherever you were born. Your character was built by that environment. And if you're committing genocide or doing something like this, you aren't completely guilty, because your environment builds you. So you're characterized by the society you live in, and if you're doing that, then there's you can take responsibility for it, once again, but you are also built. You're characterized by the environment, by the society. So guilt. You aren't completely guilty, okay, or you're not guilty at all. You're completely innocent, in fact, and that liberates. And liberation is needed for everybody. Everybody deserves liberation, no matter who you are, and no matter what you've done in your life or your lifetimes. You deserve liberation because, for one, you can't live in literal eternal hell. You know, you can live lifetime after lifetime in a hell, but at some point you're gonna have to be relinquished from that hell. You know, because everything is temporary and nothing is truly permanent. Okay, and that very truth makes way for the understanding that everybody is innocent, because once again, no matter what you've done, there has to be some sort of polarity to it. You know, you can commit the most extreme wrongfulness, but at some point you're going to come into living in the most extreme righteousness, and that very polarity is what is building the universe, you know, or what the universe is consisting of. So and then that's spiritual progression, it's collective progression. God is doing that to have everybody come into higher states of being. Okay, so nobody is guilty. All right, everybody is pure and innocent. But then it goes deeper. It goes a lot deeper. So you got to understand. I can't do it all in this one video. I can't explain everything, but just know that guilt is just a complex that has been built into you, programmed into you, emotionally charged. And it is pretty much for society to entangle you and keep you outside of yourself. Okay, because the more inwards you go, the more you realize that you are God, and that you are the universe, and that you are just pure absolute energy. Okay, and the deeper you go into this realization, the more empowered you become. And they don't want people in that state, because you become very powerful once again. So they rather have mass people, majority of people living outside themselves, and guilt is one complex that they built into the individual to keep you from going within yourself. So just know that you are innocent no matter what you have done. Okay, even if you had killed mass amounts of people, you're not even guilty then. All right, but then you're not innocent either. Okay, you're just neither. You're just an energy at that point. All right, and the next life, let's say you did commit genocide or do something like this. Next life, let's say you're somebody who liberates mass people, you know, or enlightens mass people. So you see what I'm saying about it? In that way, guilt does not exist, because it goes beyond one lifetime, you know. And it's all God doing what He needs to do to bring everything to a progression, you know. So let it be, and understand, for one, that guilt does not exist. Okay, guilt is literally just a program. Okay, keep this in your conscious mind, and live by that truth that guilt does not exist. It's a complex built. And in that way you can dissolve it away, because it's been there in your life probably since birth. Okay, so it's something blocking you from flowing absolutely, you know, and looking deeper within yourself. So dissolve it away as you can, you know. Find whatever way works best for you. But that's going to be it for today's video. Once again, I hope you all did enjoy. One love, peace out, and have a great morning.